You have probably heard that a man's home is his castle, but if you're like me, you probably don't have moats and drawbridges and stuff like that. But you can create some security measures around your home to make it as safe and secure as possible. And a couple things that I think are really important to do in that are some good outdoor lighting, and nowadays in the 21st century, as they say, some good security cameras. And today we're going to take a look at the Soliom 4Cam kit, which has 4K, it's wireless, it's solar, it's got some really cool features, and it's kind of is the closest thing you can come to having eyes in the back of your head, literally. So we'll take a look at it, show you how everything gets set up and how to kind of get it going, and then we'll take a look and see how it actually operates. Coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me for today's video, where, as I said, we're going to take a look at this security camera setup from the folks at Soliom, put it to the test, see how easy it is to set up and how well it actually works and helps you to check out and make sure you keep your home as secure and safe as possible. But first, as usual, today's words of wisdom from the Bible. Today's wisdom is from Proverbs chapter 23, verse 12. Commit yourself to instructions. Listen carefully to words of knowledge. Seems like good advice to me. And real quickly, a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Hog Holsters. Hog Holsters are made in the USA in Arizona, and they are without a doubt the most comfortable concealable holster I've ever tested. You can save 10% on your order at Hog Holsters by using the coupon code Survival on Purpose, all one word. That's hogholsters.com. Thanks to Hog Holsters for sponsoring today's video. Okay, we are back, and this is the Soliom 4 camera. Man, this thing has got all kinds of stuff. It is 8 megapixel, color day or night, first ever 4K cameras, AI powered radar tracking, solar powered, no subscription needed, a whole bunch of stuff we're going to talk about in just a minute. But the folks at Soliom contacted me a few weeks ago, said they were coming out with this 4 camera kit and wanted to know if I'd be interested in doing a review on it and testing it out. And I took a look at the specs on it and thought, man, this thing is, yeah, it sounds pretty slick. So that's what we're doing. So without any further ado, let me just kind of show you what's in the box here, show you how well it comes packaged first of all. So this is the box it came in. We have a quick start guide and a more detailed manual. As you can see in here, we have the 4 cameras, like so. There's 4 of these. We also have 4 of the solar panels to keep the batteries up, so you do not have to hardwire these. They're Wi-Fi, and they don't connect to a central database. There's no subscription needed. They actually connect to your Wi-Fi router in your house. If you don't have Wi-Fi, I'd be really surprised. And then it's got all the electrical doodads and stuff. And this is the unit that plugs into your router. So this stores and records the footage, so it doesn't have to go anywhere else. As long as your router's secured, people can't really hack into this. There's a pre-installed memory card, and also you can use a micro USB to increase your memory storage. So there's that. Now, the first thing you have to do is charge these up, and it comes with one USB charging cable. It's regular USB on one side and USB-C on the other. There's 4 of these cameras. They all need to be pre-charged. They say it takes 7 to 8 hours to charge each one. So you're either going to have to take, I don't know, a couple of days to charge them all, or get yourself a power strip or USB charging strip station, whatever you want to call it, and a couple more, 3 more cords, and plug it in. Your choice. They've got the Wi-Fi antennas here. They've got all the mounting hardware that comes in the box, as well as the hardware for the solar panels. All right, so let's talk about a few of the details that really caught my attention and why I thought this might be a really good system to check out, and then we'll get to the hands-on stuff. First of all, these things are 8 megapixel day or night color, so they're not black and white. Colors always seem to, you see details better. They are 4K with 3840 by 2160 ultra high resolution. They have a feature that allows you to identify license plates up to 35 feet away, so they can really zoom in. A 450 lumen spotlight to continue seeing even up to 26 feet away all through the night. Wireless radar technology to enhance alarm accuracy and reduce false alarms. They work with your basic home dual band router, either 2.4 gigahertz or G, whatever G stands for, or 5G, and safely connects to the home base. And the home base, which is here, is really cool because this is where all your data is stored. Like I said, there's a 32 gigabyte local storage, and you can put up to 128 gigabyte micro USB card in, a little one. And even if the security cameras get damaged or knocked down or whatever by somebody trying to stop you, you'll still have the footage up until the point they got damaged. They have cross camera tracking, so it automatically tracks from one camera to another as they're moving. So your camera's automatic, they're like AI powered stuff. It's pretty cool. That's one of the things that really got my attention. Auto motion tracking, so that they pick up on motion. They're motion detectors. You can actually set the specific area you want to focus on to monitor, and then it'll automatically track and record stuff in that area. And they're forever solar powered, so they have this detachable solar panel. You mount this. It's got a pretty long cable on it. Let's just see how long. So you don't have to mount the camera. You don't have to mount the solar panel exactly where the camera is. You can mount it in a place that will give you better access to sunlight. And I'm gonna say it's probably 10 feet. Gives you a little flexibility in mounting that. And yeah, so that's kind of the stuff that I thought was really cool. I like the solar. I like the fact that it tracks in its color and it's got lighting on it. I like the fact that it is wireless, no hardwire required, and no subscription required. You can run it all through your home Wi-Fi system. So, all right, well, that was a quick rundown of some of the features and tech specs of this Soliom 4-camera system. Now, let's get to the meat of things. I've had this thing installed for about 6 weeks. This whole system installed in my house for about 6 weeks. Test it out, see how well it worked. I didn't film the installation because I figure if you're watching this channel, you're smart enough to use a screw gun. But there are a couple things that you need to think about when you're installing the system. First of all, you figure out what you want to cover in your areas of coverage, and then they recommend install them 6 to 9 feet above the ground, and they have like a 33-foot detection range. So that's going to vary depending upon how it's installed and where it's installed, but pretty much out to 30-something feet you can detect motion. You can set it to detect people, animals, or cars, or just there's several different parameters on it, but you can figure that out in the app. One thing they do recommend doing is wherever you decide to put it, go ahead and take your phone, turn your Wi-Fi on, and check and make sure you have a good Wi-Fi signal at that particular point, because this thing operates on Wi-Fi. And also take a look at the sunshine and make sure you're not in shade or something like that, where your solar panel is going to be in shade most of the time. I had to they have a 10-foot cord on them, which is good cable, so I was able to put one of mine kind of on the roof, up over the gutter and on the roof, because it wouldn't be in shade there. So once you figure out where the cameras are going to go, next thing you're going to do is download the app, the Soliom app, and right here I'll show you what that looks like. And when you do that, and you do all the, get set up, enter your information where you can log in and all that stuff, set up an account, then you go to the home page. You're going to see at the bottom of that home page a video installation guide. I encourage you to watch that. It's way better than anything I can tell you about installing these cameras. It's very clear. Goes through it step by step, exactly what to do, how to get the app, what to click, how to get everything set up, how to sync it, how to do all that stuff, and it's very, very easy to understand. Okay, so now I got some notes because I don't want to mess any of this up. Okay, once you get the app installed, there's several links on there. I'm not going to go over all of them because they're pretty self-explanatory, and it's not going to be a lot of. Some of it's just stuff you probably won't even use. I don't use. But on the home screen, there's going to be 2 different views. You're going to have like the thumbnail view that's got them all in one little area, or you can click the little thing up there that looks like a checkerboard, and you can have it actually stacked up with larger views. If you go to where it says home base, you click on that. That'll tell you how each camera is doing, what the battery life is on the cameras, and all that. Then if you click on each individual camera, that's where you can really tweak this thing and set it up how you want it. You can set it up for your monitoring area, which is the area that's going to be your main pointed at. It's going to detect motion in it. You can set up the lights, whether you want it infrared, whether you want it black and white, whether you want it color, whether you want lights coming. You can set up the sound, the microphone, all that stuff. Again, it's very, very self-explanatory. So without going into all that, because that would be way more boring than I'm already being, and you're smart enough to figure it out, it's all right there. Let's show you some actual footage, which is really what you want to see of the camera. And bear with me for a minute while I set this up, because what I tried to do, I was walking around with my iPhone, videoing this while I was letting the cameras do their thing, the Soliom cameras, and I'm going to try to sync that up where you can see it. Maybe that'll be a little more self-explanatory than me rambling like I am right now. What I really wanted to do was to see how well this thing does the handoff. Come out of one zone into the next, and you'll see, but it actually did a pretty good job, and it stacks those things up into a little file, all of them together as one incident on your camera, which is pretty cool. So let's take a look at that. All right, so it is November the 3rd, 8:45 p.m., And I got a camera over the front door. We're going to go there first. Just going across the yard. And like I said, it's probably not going to pick up until I get to a certain point, because I've got it up high to try to see as much as possible once it does kick on. And generally it's not going to come on until I hit about the second step from the top. And there it goes, and there it is up there. So if we come back down, see the lights on, and we're going to go on around, try to see if this thing picks up and hands off the recording, so to speak. You know, so I got to get into the monitor zone, which is here. There's the camera right there. And back here towards the back where Kuma is. And now let's watch the camera. It should track me now. It should move around and track me. Let's see. Yep, there it goes. You see it moving? So it's tracking me. We'll take a look at that footage. Now the light's on. I don't know if that means it's recording now or not, but we'll see. You move around back. Because I've got this camera way up there, if you can see up there, right up there, to cover the back deck, which means it's not going to come on until I get within 6 feet of it. So we'll go out here and see what Kuma's doing. And let's take a look at the camera up there in the very corner. And it won't come on until it probably picks me up. There's a light behind it because I keep the lights on anyway, so it should be picking me up now. Let's just see. I might have to get over here before it picks me up. See if it picks me up now. Okay, it just moved. You see it move over? So now it's tracking me. Hey, Kuma, what are you doing, buddy? And then we're going to come on back down. I don't know if it's still tracking. I guess we'll find out when we look at the footage. We'll come on back down. And I've got the other one set up on the wall in the corner. Just got to cover the whole back deck here, which is a mess right now. But there it is right there. And you can see the infrared lights are on it. So first picks me up there. And it's tracking. So let's go see how well it does. Okay, well, hopefully, as you can see, actually did a pretty good job of doing the kind of handoff. And basically, I mean, it's detecting motion in this zone, and then you move out of that zone. When you move into another zone, it detects motion in that zone. But it kind of stitches them together into one little packet. So when you're viewing it, you can see that it's all the same event, which is pretty cool. Now, let's take a look at some of the manual options you have on the camera. You click on an individual camera screen, and you have a little bit of you got that little directional control there, and you can pan, you can zoom, you can tilt it, you can move all around. And I got a couple of examples on here. So there's, for example, are my neighbor's cars, and you know that's probably from this camera, it's probably 50 feet away to those two black cars there. And here's an example of the zoom clarity from about 25 feet away for a little sticker on the side of my garbage container. Isn't that cool? And finally, as an example of the infrared, here's an example from about 60 to 75 feet away of the my old Boy Scout trailer and the $150 doghouse that Kuma refuses to get into. Now, admittedly, I've got all my floodlights on because I keep them on at night, but you can see the clarity there is super, super clear. The dark is afraid of Chuck Norris. So what did you think? As for me, after using these things for 6 weeks, I think it is a pretty good way to build sort of an electronic moat around your castle. And certainly it can let you know what's going on. And when that light pops on, people realize they're on camera. You might have a second thought about doing whatever they were thinking about doing, if they were thinking about doing something, if you know what I mean. So let's talk real quickly. Again, I've been using these things for 6 weeks about the pros and cons that I have discovered while using them. So maybe it'll help you if you decide to check them out further. We'll start with the cons so we can end on a positive note. I like to do that. So first of all, I've got some notes, as I said. Number one, and this is admittedly nitpicking, but since you have to charge 4 separate cameras for multiple hours before you can use them the first time, it would be nice if instead of including 1 charging cable, they included 4. And then you just have to have somewhere to plug 4 of them into. But I know that's nitpicking. Most of us have charging cables running out the wazoo that we don't know what to do with and don't know where they came from anyway, but that would be cool. Number 2, admittedly, I'm old school, but it would be nice if there was a way to control and monitor these things from a computer. If there is, I was unable to find it. I don't think there is, but if so, I couldn't find it anywhere. You pretty much have to use the app on your phone. Again, I know that is some old school stuff and very nitpicking. Most people these days do everything on their phone. And in fact, according to my Google Analytics, there's a 75% chance that you're watching this video on your phone. So I get it, but it would be nice to be able to have it on the computer. But anyway, nitpicking again. And finally, the third con, another admittedly picky thing. I was trying to find something to pick on here, I guess. You can't pull the SD card out of the little micro SD card out of the base and put it in your computer, plug it into a card reader, and download or view the videos. There's some kind, they're recorded in some kind of format that is unreadable by any computer I've got. So if you want to download the videos, you have to download them on your phone. You can download them from your phone onto your phone and then transfer them to your computer. If you need to do that, again, probably won't have to do that. Again, super nitpicky. Okay, now let's talk about the pros. Number 1, even though you cannot access or control these cameras on your computer, you can access and control them from anywhere you have a cellular signal on this phone, which I think is admittedly way more important than being able to access it on a computer. Number 2, man, it just plain works. The handoff, the clarity, the detection, the motion detection, the everything, it just plain works. Number 3, man, the video clarity is amazing on whether it's in color, black and white, or infrared. Unlike some of the security camera footage you've seen, probably where everything's grainy and ugly, this thing is crystal clear at 50, 60, 75 feet away. I'm pretty impressed with that, really. Number 4, unlike a lot of security cameras I've seen, it gives you the ability to have two-way communication. So again, you can scream at the kids to get off your yard, you can tell the potential thief that you're calling the police, or you can just talk to your neighbor. That's it. Whatever you choose to do. Number 5, it also, if it's proper, if you set it this way, it functions as a motion-sensitive security light. When it detects that motion, the light, you can make the white light come on, and it will obviously get somebody's attention. They'll know that, uh-oh, wait a minute, I just triggered something. So I think that's a good thing too. And then finally, number 6, the price is very, very reasonable in my opinion for a 24-hour surveillance security monitoring system. It's like $365 right now on Amazon, which at the time of this video, who knows what it'll be when you're watching this, but as I make this video, it's $365. So bottom line, if you want to up your home security game with a 24-hour security surveillance system, you might want to check out the Soliom security cameras. And thanks again to the folks at Soliom for sending me them so I could show them to you and test them for this long period of time to make sure they're working. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.